Okay, today I'm going to show you how to apply Rubio Monocoat Oil Plus 2C. It's a wonderful product because it's an oil-based finish, and it's a two-part. It's a part A and B. This here. And it binds chemically with the cells of the wood so that you only have to do one coat. It provides a very long-lasting finish. It's food grade. It's some high-tech stuff, and it looks great. It gives a very nice, a matte finish, actually. So the ratio is 3-to-1. So A to B. What we're going to need for this is 2 spoons. Stir stick, some gloves. We're going to need a clean mixing container. Where might I have that? Okay, and a little can opener. So we'll open this up. We're going to mix this oil. This doesn't actually look like it's separated at all. It's got a nice oily odor to it. And the final thing we're going to need is a rag. And so these are some microfiber shop rags, and we only really need the little corner of it. So I'm going to cut. We can find a knife and cut a little piece of the corner of this. And just find some strength. Okay, so one rag for spreading, one rag for wiping. Okay, so then in our little container, let's make sure it's dry. For this, here we're doing this cutting board. So for this we're going to do 4 tablespoons total, because it really doesn't take much. So there's 1, 2, 3 spoonfuls of the oil. Obviously, anything bigger than this, if we're doing it at the table, we need more than that. So this is the hardener. So we're going to do 1 spoon's worth of this stuff here. And make sure when you put the lid back on this, it's nice and clean, because if this lid gets stuck on with this strange spout, then it does become a problem. Okay, so now we want to thoroughly mix this. We're going to mix for a couple of minutes, see what the instructions actually say. It may be used for a maximum of 4 to 6 hours. Yeah, this is carefully mixed. Okay, so we spread some out. stuff is, it's like royal jelly. It's pretty expensive, so we tried to be, this little container is $85. We tried to be efficient with it. Okay, so now we're going to take our small rag and we're just going to wipe this on. And we want to leave it on a little bit thick. Well, not thick, we just don't want any dry spots. And especially since this is end grain, it's going to absorb a lot. We might actually have to mix up some more here. My little towel is also absorbing a lot, so that's why I got a small rag instead of the big rag. And this stuff is so nice. It'll take 24 hours to be fully dry. But that's it. You only ever need one coat. I have cutting boards I've done with it that are, I guess, a year old. And they're in very good shape compared to mineral oil cutting boards that need reapplication of oil after 6 months maybe. Okay, so here, let's see if we can get one. And the nice part is this isn't like a varnish where if there's dust, you see I'm doing this on a table, it's actually going to be fine because it's a wiping oil. Any little dust particles that get caught in there, they won't get trapped in the finish. Well, we're actually just going to wipe them off. So as long as the dust doesn't get in the way of the finish reaching the wood, then it's not going to be an issue. It's also nice, it's pretty low VOCs, like it doesn't stink. You can smell it, but it's not overpowering. And my cutting boards, I have them in white oak. There's a few that I use at home. Just finished with this. And I don't know if it's a Rubio Monocoat or the oak, but it's like they're super fast drying. I thought it was very interesting. So I think we've got enough here to finish off the other side. And now there is the biggest concern, and it says right on the lid of the bottle there, is with oily rags, because they will spontaneously combust. I couldn't be convinced to buy a $300 oily rag bin from Uline. I just spread them up flat on the concrete floor. It's nice and cool. There isn't anywhere for the heat to accumulate. If the rag's piled up, it can accumulate heat, but spread out flat on the floor, oil will dry up. And then once it's dry, I just put them in the garbage the next day. That is the safest thing I've been doing for years. No problems. Like I said, there's no dry spots. You don't need to second coat this at all. been a couple of minutes. Now we take the clean rag and we're going to wipe it clean. We're going to wipe it. You can sort of feel when there's oil on the surface, it sort of makes more friction with the rag. And then once you get it off, then it feels smooth and flat again. So we want, if you look at it in the angle of the light, you want no shiny spots where there's extra oil. You want it to just be clean so that nothing else is coming off. And then this is the part where also, if there was any dust on here, it's getting wiped off. And once I made the mistake of, I used this, and I didn't wipe it off. I said, oh, the finish will be better and stronger if I just leave it on. And no, it was blotchy, it did not look good. So the instructions are there to be followed. Wipe everything right off. And the best part about this is it's because you've wiped it clean, you know, you don't want to get fingerprints in it or anything like that, but you can basically move it around. Like I'm going to go, this is a gift, birthday present for my wife. And her birthday's today, so I'm going to give it to her. I'm going to say we can't use it until tomorrow, but I can still give it to her. Still able to handle it. I'm just going to transport it so it doesn't get dirty or anything. And the last little bit I've got here to finish. This walnut is also finished with Rubio. With this picture frame, but it has a cut edge here to fix up. And that's that. So that is the process. How to apply Rubio Monocoat. Right, so at the end of the process, we're going to take it, leave it flat on the concrete, not near anything combustible, so it can dry.